Hey everyone, today we're going to be exploring Park Avenue, which is one of New York's most expensive office districts. Some of the world's top hedge funds, private equity firms, venture capital firms, and investment banks call Park Avenue home. So we're going to be walking from East 57th Street all the way back down to Grand Central Terminal. We'll be pointing out some of the main office buildings, also some of the main residential buildings as we make our way southbound. This building that you see perfectly centered in the screen is 425 Park Avenue. This is one of the city's newest Class A office towers, and it is the temporary headquarters of Citadel Securities until they can manage to build their own office tower at 350 Park Avenue. I'll kind of quickly stand on the median here just so you could get a perspective of what Park Avenue looks like to the north. To the left is the South Korean embassy. And then this is 57th Street, Billionaires Row, looking all the way up to 432 Park Avenue, which is one of the most expensive office buildings in all of New York City, or excuse me, residential buildings in all New York City. That was developed by Harry McLeod.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yesterday, unfortunately, a terrible tragedy unfolded here on Park Avenue when a gunman went into the offices of the NFL and Blackstone, started opening fire, killing 5 people. Just a terrible, terrible tragedy. And thoughts and prayers to anybody affected. It's just really unfortunate that things like that are still happening. Here you can see a better view of 425 Park Avenue. Once again, this is one of the city's newest Class A office towers that has some pretty amazing amenities. And it's one of the most eco-friendly buildings in the city. And again, this is the temporary headquarters of Citadel Securities and Citadel, both a major hedge fund and a market maker on Wall Street. Ken Griffin is the CEO and founder, and he's one of the richest men in the world. We'll take a brief detour here just because I want to show you one of the most exclusive residential buildings in all of New York City that also calls Park Avenue home. This is the very iconic 432 Park Avenue. And the building just to the right of it is the Four Seasons Hotel that just recently reopened in New York. Again, the developer on this deal is Harry McLeod. The big developers that really built New York City's Billionaires Row is Harry McLeod himself. You also have Xtel, whose CEO and founder is Gary Burnett. then you have the development company JDS, which developed the Steinway Tower, which sits on top of the exact site of the old Steinway piano store. It is about lunchtime. It's roughly 2:15, so I'm on my lunch break, ironically enough, and you'll see a lot of people roaming the streets on their lunch break as well. Lots of bankers, hedge funders, private equity guys and girls.
Yeah, really.
Here's another good view of the architecture on the building. Really cool facade, very interesting. But the further up you go on Park Avenue, you have those classical layer cake designs, as they call them. You also have a Ferrari showroom here on the corner of East 55th Street and Park. Very fitting for the demographic of the neighborhood, for sure.
Is this a video of Leclerc and Hamilton driving those? How much revenue we gotta make to buy one? It's not enough. They won't sell you the car.
They're talking about how much revenue they need to make to buy it. And then he's like, I don't even think they'll sell you the vehicle, which I think is true. I'm not a big car guy, but I believe that is true. I don't think you could buy one new, something like that. Now, Ferrari is actually performing really, really well. It's publicly traded under the ticker symbol RACE, RACE. And it's a top performing stock in the auto OEM sector. One of the best performing auto stocks, might I add. And this is overlooking 399 Park Avenue. This is 53rd Street. If you were to make a right and head west, you would run into 53 West 53rd, which is a very, very notable building, which is technically considered a building on New York City's Billionaires Row. It has the caliber and the quality of being a Billionaires Row building. But as you can tell, it's very, very lively on Park Avenue on a work day. Also sandwiched in between here, you have a lot of boutique investment banks, I should say. Evercore, their New York office is very, very close to here. It's just over to the right. If you're interested in banking, you'll probably hear something considered a bulge bracket investment bank. And then you have a boutique investment bank. So a bulge bracket would be something like a JP Chase. A boutique bank would be like a Moelis, Jefferies, Evercore, something like that. More specialization investment banks. This is the Seagram Building. This is one of my favorite buildings in all of New York City. Really great architecture here, right on the corner of 53rd Street and Park. So yeah, not only do you have bulge bracket investment banks like JP Chase, we're about to pass their 270 Park, their new office tower, but you also have some of the smaller firms too. Jefferies is right on Madison Avenue, still walking distance. And then one more block over from the Seagram Building is unfortunately where you had that tragedy. This is the building right here, 325 Park Avenue. This is the headquarters for Blackstone, which is a major Wall Street firm. It's a buyout firm, private equity. The CEO and founder of Blackstone is also one of the wealthiest men in America, Stephen Schwarzman. Stephen Schwarzman has a really good book out. It's called What It Takes by Stephen Schwarzman. So if you're interested in potentially working on Wall Street in private equity, I would highly, highly suggest reading that book. And then again, this is Seagram Building, which is my personal favorite. Mainly because it's set back from the street. A very famous architect on the deal as well. Mind you, it's again 103 degrees today in the city. You have Fidelity Investments. I guess while we're waiting for the light, I'll quick make a detour and show you Evercore, which is a boutique investment bank. Oftentimes, if you're looking for leading economic indicators as it relates to deal-making activity, which one could conclude if there's a lot of deals getting done on the street, you know, the outlook for the economy is going to be very good. So oftentimes I look to the price action of those individual names, like an Evercore, like a Jefferies, ticker symbol JEF. If those stocks are performing well, if we know that equities or stocks are forward-looking by 6 months, you could assume that, wow, you know, there must be a lot of deal-making being done on Wall Street, lots of capital markets activity, and potentially even a big, robust IPO pipeline coming down the pike, which that all spurs economic growth in the United States. So one could use the price action of those boutique banks as a proxy for what's to come for the general market. So if the stock charts of Jefferies, Evercore, and the like, if they look good, if they're trading at 52-week highs and into new highs, well, you could probably assume that the overall general market, S&P 500, is also trending up as well. We'll wait for the light over here and then cross and check out the NHL and Blackstone headquarters. I believe you also have the offices of Raymond James here. Okay, we'll make a left on East 51st Street. And you'll see a ton of police activity, media activity. This is the Blackstone headquarters, you can see right here. Have the media set up all along the side. Here you have the NYPD crime scene unit, and the entire front of the office building is closed off. .345 Park. Actually looks like one of the panes of glass is broken here too. I didn't know that. Such a tragedy what happened. Not too sure what this is. We also have the headquarters of KPMG, or one of the offices of KPMG in the building as well. Park Avenue is a really beautiful street, though. I mean, this is overlooking the Seagram Building. And this is a good shot of 270 Park Avenue right here. This is going to be JP Morgan Chase new office tower.
Another security guard was showing.
Alright, you take my spot or what?
Yeah. But also, like, my own air conditioning. I'll be like, Corey's there filming. Wearing this.
Wait, my building's back there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I totally forgot where I was going. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'll text you. Cool.
Drive that way like when I go up.
Now, on the corner of 50th Street is the brand new Waldorf Astoria Hotel and Residences. This has been a major construction project in New York City. The complete overhaul and redevelopment of the Waldorf Astoria. It's such a beautiful Art Deco building in the city. And yes, you'll be able to buy luxury condominiums as well as stay at the hotel. A little bit further up Park Avenue, you also have Cantor Fitzgerald. And I'm sure everyone's aware of that company, mainly due to the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. That is his company that he essentially rebuilt from the ground up after September 11th. An overwhelming majority of the employees at Cantor Fitzgerald were killed during the September 11 terrorist attacks. Now you might be asking yourself, why are all the major financial firms, investment banks now in Midtown and on Park Avenue and in and around Park Avenue? Well, there's a reason for that. And that's mainly due to the internet, algorithmic trading, that you really don't need to be down on the physical street of Wall Street near an exchange. There's just no reason for it. Right? You could set up shop virtually anywhere in the world and conduct business. This isn't the 1900s where if you wanted to buy and sell a share of stock, you needed to do it with physical sheets of paper, either on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange or quite literally pick up the phone and call your broker and have them execute those trades. Now the vast majority of trades are executed without even a human involvement. It's all algorithms. Much of the large quantitative firms on Wall Street include Hudson River Trading, 2 Sigma, Jane Street, and of course, not to leave out Citadel. And those tend to be the highest paying jobs on Wall Street. The quantitative researchers or quantitative traders. Alright, this is probably my favorite part of the tour here. We're approaching 270 Park Avenue. Which is the brand new headquarters of JP Morgan Chase. This is going to be their global headquarters. If you want to know a little bit more about the building specifically, you could watch our dedicated tour of 270 Park. But the lobby is very, very unique. You have this cantilever effect over the street and this beautiful diamond pattern on the facade. According to the most recent reports, they say that 270 Park Avenue is going to be ready in November. So we will see if that comes to fruition. But currently 277 Park, which sits adjacent right here, is the current JP Morgan Chase office building, which I'd assume they will be migrating over when the time comes. I really like how they widen the sidewalks. And they're going to make a public space right under 270.
And they basically shut out.
Just an amazing structure. This is now East 47th Street and Park. This is headed right into Grand Central Terminal. Another great shot at 270 Park and looking up at 432 Park. This is going to be the main lobby. Now this is a really good view of One Vanderbilt. It's another brand new Class A office tower in the city. I'll give you a tip. If you have an American Express card, if you call the number on the back, just ask for a reservation at the Centurion Lounge at the top of One Vanderbilt. The views are pretty incredible. This is a big food hall for a lot of the office people. They sometimes come for lunch in here too. the Vanderbilt market. This is now Vanderbilt Avenue. Looking at the Roosevelt Hotel, which was made famous due to the migrant crisis in New York. To the right of us, you have the Yale Club. It does actually seem to be a little quieter than normal, probably due to the events that took place yesterday. But here's the front entrance of Yale Club, unfortunately under scaffolding. To the left is the main entrance to the MetLife building, which the lobby was just recently renovated. Here we are, Grand Central Terminal, as well as One Vanderbilt. This is a really nice plaza they've made outside of One Vanderbilt. Everything's super modern, very convenient. TD Securities is the main anchor tenant at One Vanderbilt. Now from here you'll be able to see a very interesting view of the Chrysler Building. It's a perfect shot. very hot in New York City, and also the air quality isn't great due to the wildfires in Canada. Take a quick walk to Pershing Square. This is the location that Bill Ackman named his hedge fund after. And that main bridge to Grand Central as well. You see the restaurant.
Nobody ever came.
This Hyatt Grand Central is supposed to be coming down, and there's supposed to be a new building built in its place that unfortunately is going to block the views of the Chrysler Building. Now, on a walking tour that I already filmed, which I think you guys are really going to enjoy, I do a deep dive into a secret building, well, not so secret anymore, that is going to destroy New York City's skyline. Now, it's a little bit clickbaity, but it's actually true. There's a building that is now gone up that has totally destroyed one of the most iconic views in all of New York City. And you guessed it, the building that went up is a luxury residential skyscraper that has destroyed, I mean, not over exaggerating, quite arguably one of the best viewing spots for views of the Empire State Building. But we'll be releasing that video early next week. We do a deep dive into the developer, how they accumulated the air rights, and we'll go into some of the protests that are still going on, by the way. But there's really nothing they can do because the tower's already built. Lucky for the residents, though, of the building, they're going to have arguably the best views of the Empire State Building ever, of any building, by far, hands down. Not even a competition. Okay, we're now looping back around, and we are at the base of the Chrysler Building. So welcome everybody to one of the most glorious Art Deco buildings in the world, the beautiful Chrysler Building. Which, by the way, one of my favorite coffee shops just opened a location inside the Chrysler Building. And that coffee shop is called Watch House. So check it out. That is their second New York location. Now, right inside the Chrysler. That's the entrance to Grand Central Market. Oh, by the way, we had some interesting Q1 data coming out for net leases for commercial office space. We had the most amount of office space leased in New York City in Q1 2025 than any other point in the last decade. So there's this massive, massive return to work, return to office boom. And, you know, read between the lines. If the office market is so strong, where people are signing, I think 25 million square feet of office space signed in Q1, well, that probably means corporations are bringing everybody back to work. So watch for the continuation of the return to office trend. Okay, this is now 45th Street. We'll loop around and get back to Park Avenue. Okay, if you guys enjoyed that walking tour of New York City's Park Avenue, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, we will see you in the next one. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.